vanishes, what would the morning after look like, and how would society cope? Would chaos ensue, or would we find a new way to organize ourselves? This intriguing idea is not just an exercise in imagination, but a deep dive into our understanding of economics, human behavior, and societal structures. The immediate aftermath of money's sudden disappearance would likely be confusion. Imagine waking up to find that the cash in your wallet, your bank balance, even the credit on your cards has simply ceased to exist. Transactions would grind to a halt. The corner store can't sell you a loaf of bread because neither of you can agree on what it's worth. Online shopping, a modern convenience many of us take for granted, would come crashing down. The global stock markets would cease to function, and the concept of wealth would lose its meaning overnight. But as the initial shock wears off, we would start to adapt. The barter system, humanity's oldest form of trade, might make a comeback. You could trade a dozen of your homegrown tomatoes for your neighbor's homemade bread. Skills and labor might become new forms of currency. A carpenter, a doctor, or a teacher, for instance, might find their services in high demand. Yet, the barter system has its limitations. It's inefficient and inconvenient, and it's why money was invented in the first place. In a world without money, we might have to find new ways to measure value. Perhaps we'd see a rise in alternative forms of currency, like cryptocurrency, or even a return to gold and other precious metals as a medium of exchange. In the long term, a world without money could lead to significant societal changes. Without the wealth gap, we might see a more equitable distribution of resources. However, it could also lead to new forms of inequality, as those with valuable skills or resources gain power. As we've seen, the disappearance of money would lead to an initial period of chaos and confusion. However, the human ability to adapt and innovate would likely help us find new ways to trade and measure value. The societal changes that could follow are complex and unpredictable, and could range from greater equality to new forms of power dynamics. To summarize, the sudden disappearance of money would upend our society as we know it. The immediate effects would be confusion and a halt in transactions, followed by a possible return to barter and other forms of trade. In the long term, we could see significant societal changes, both positive and negative. This exploration of a world without money is a reminder of how deeply money is woven into our daily lives and our society. It's more than just a medium of exchange. It's a measure of value, a store of wealth, and a symbol of power. And while it's unlikely that money will disappear anytime soon, it's always useful to question the things we take for granted and imagine what could be. It forces us to think creatively about our future and the kind of society we want to live in.